Alright, welcome back. Digital Poker Felt, part 2 of the same guaranteed 2088 guaranteed prize pot, Crazy Eights. It's only a $3 buy-in. I'm in the small blind. Just got back from break. Again, if you missed part 1, make sure to watch that first, I guess. Unless you really don't care and you just want to jump in and see some action. Obviously, the deeper we'll go in this tournament, the crazier and more the action will be. Right now, you start off with this tournament with 88,888 chips. So you're over 1,700 big blinds starting this thing. I'm Fingers again. Welcome to the Digital Poker Felt. Make sure to subscribe, join us, join me, and the others that are participating and watching this. As I was saying in the previous video, if you question anything I've done, make a note of it in the comments below. I'm going to read all the comments. Also, if somebody else is having an issue with their game, maybe they can post it. We can turn the comments area of these videos into almost like a collective, a tribe of poker players watching these videos and just helping each other improve. What I'm trying to do, especially being online, you don't have as many tells on a live person. In person, you can look somebody in the eye, look at their mannerisms, watch their body. You can't do that online. So you got to just kind of play the basics, the fundamentals. Not saying that you can't veer off of GTO strategy online, but you're definitely going to go deeper just playing your fundamentals here. And that's what I'm trying to do, especially pre-flop. With the blinds being as deep as they are, I have been playing a little loose, trying some different hands that make straights, make flushes, in areas where I probably shouldn't. If you saw the end of the last video, maybe I was being a nit folding there going into the break. But for a pot-sized bet, it's quite possibly he had ace-king, king-queen, pocket jacks. If he had pocket jacks, I did have him. Again, his bet sizing going in, he had position on me. I was just going to have to keep paying off larger and larger bets. He was betting over 10,000 on the turn against that other guy that called him for whatever reason. So he was definitely at least going, let's see, if I called and the other guy called, he's got to be betting at least 50, 60,000 on the river. Okay, he had ace-10 there, he had ace-10. All right, I don't think I even have to look up a GTO chart on this one. Unless it goes completely crazy with the raises. Under the gun is raising though. We're on the button. And he called. Let's just call. Again, nothing insane. Play your fundamentals. Right now, we're 61st out of 175 players. He could be trapping me, but let's bet 725 into a 1710 pot and see what transpires. Because with my range on the button, I could definitely have a 10. Very doubtful I have a 3 unless it's the ace-3 of diamonds. He's re-raising there. He would not raise more than likely with a 3. He might with pocket 10s, ace-10. Let's see what happens here. If he checks here, I at least have the gut shot to the jack. Unless he has pocket 10s, then I'm already crushed anyway. He's over betting. If he had ace-king, he's gotten there. Pocket 10s, he's already there. Would he bet like that if he had pocket queens? Maybe a bad player would with aces there. Well, I timed out anyway. There, that's an easy fold there. I think there must be a full moon out or full moon coming out soon. The other night, if you heard in the last video, my buddy, we called him Mr. Evil on the video because he really didn't want his name shared. But he was calling in, I put him on speakerphone. I don't know how well this mic, this little headphone mic picked up the speakerphone or not. But he and I have been going out hitting a bunch of the local Tampa Bay area card rooms. And the other night we went to this one card room that I visit more often than he does. And it was one of those nights where every table you wound up on in the tournament, there were 4 and 5 all ins. Almost every hand. It was just insane the way people were just shoving and calling off, playing bingo with any 2 cards. Why would you limp under the gun? Well, if you're going to limp, I got to limp. I doubt that's appropriate, but according to GTO, but I just can't help myself for that price. Again, even with an ugly board like that pricing me in. Alright, let's see what the turn has. See if the big blind will let us. With a limping range like that, I could easily have hearts. I could easily have a 10. What could he be limping in under the gun with? I do have the Jack of Hearts, but not the Queen of Hearts. Can I represent it here? I think I can represent a flush, and if somebody raises I can fold, because more than likely they've already gotten there with the boat. See, there's no way in hell I'm going to call off for that much. Even if my 9 was a heart. Unless I already had him beat. So he may have limped in with ace 10. Maybe king 10? Two hearts, and he's overvaluing on a paired board his flush? Let's see, where are we at? Average stack 109, we're at 87. Let's sit back, put our feet up, get comfy. Hopefully it's a long night ahead. And I hope this is the format that you appreciate in poker. Again, I'm showing you every single hand, unless, of course, the computer crashes again and I lose bits and pieces of the video, which I didn't even have time to check and see if I lost the first 10 minutes of the last video or if it just comes in late. I think the CPU on this Mac was having an issue trying to keep up with the recording software of the video and the poker at the same time. So right now I've reduced down the recording software, minimized it, and hopefully we can make it through an entire recording without it freezing up and crashing again. Alright, so we're under the gun +1. Ooh. And he just called. Alright, I'm gonna go a little off track from GTO right now, and as deep as we are, I'm gonna represent a bigger hand than I have under the gun +1. Because again, this hand, if I hit, has the chance to get paid off big time. Oh, very similar hand to this. A couple days ago, I went and played over at the horse track. They have a card room. And the tournament I was in, I make it to the final table. I'm one of the chip leaders arriving at the table. There were a couple hands where I had like pocket queens. A guy raised fairly big in early position, and I shoved my entire stack in. Then next hand, I had ace king and had a number of limpers, shoved all in, took those down. So by that point, I definitely had the chip lead. Let's just bet one yellow chip. So by this point, me having this dominant chip lead, I could raise with almost any two cards at that point. What did he limp in with that he could call that? All right, let's. All right, if he's got a flush draw, I can get him to lay that down. If he's got. I thought I could actually get him to lay down a 5 or a 6 also. All right, so getting back to my story, as we got to the final table, like I said, chip lead. At one point, I believe I was on the button or fairly close. I had two short stacks to my left, and I raised with the 9-10 of diamonds against suited. Small blind calls, big blind calls, two limpers call. They already saw me bluff a couple times. I don't need them to see this again. Let's represent the ace I have. Oh, that would be too big. So by raising that amount, I get all these colors. The flop comes out queen, 8, jack. So I flop the queen high straight. Small blind checks, big blind. Makes a fairly big bet. The other limpers, they fold. I wind up, again, chip leader, using my muscle. It could look bluffy. I shove all my chips in. The guy in the big blind can't get his chips in fast enough. And he's like, I've got you, MFer, I got you. And he's jumping up and down. Oh, who raised? The cutoff raised. Let's just call out of position. So of course I have to show him that I've already flopped the straight. He had queen 8 offsuit. So he starts screaming to pair the effing board, pair the effing board. A king comes off on the turn. He's still screaming, pair the board, pair the board. Another king comes off on the river. He starts screaming, not that pair, not that pair, whatever. He starts screaming at me about how dare you raise with that junk hand and all this type of stuff. And everybody was like, the raise that you made was only 2.5 big blinds. It wasn't out of line. I said, I know. I said, they can all grumble. They can all bitch at me as long as they continue walking out the door because they're no longer in the tournament. And they all started laughing. So that's what that 9-10 in that last hand reminded me of, which did not work out quite as well as it did live play. If you think I'm being a little too nitty in places, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm playing too loose, let me know. Or maybe post up some hands that you have questions about. If I don't answer them, obviously the other Digital Poker Felt tribe, those members can get in there and answer them. Raise. Uh, I don't know. I kind of want to with crappy little cards like that. If he actually had a hand. And we got a call. I got 3-6 off suit though. That is definitely not a GTO move if I called. Let's just get out of the way. Watch, it's going to come too. It's going to hit the 5 of spades right there. Come on, don't check around now. Now you're going to make me regret my fold even more. Because we know the 5 of spades is coming right there. A min bet? What is up with these? Who's folding to the min bet? Uh, 5 is the only thing that would. No. Oh, I guess hindsight could fold. Although they're not showing a lot of strength. Them checking around on the turn, though, it's probably him trying to go for a check raise with his ace whatever. Ace queen, ace king maybe. Ace jack. I guess he could have even had as low as ace 10 there, and then he felt good about his hand with 2 pair. Now they're calling. They're just limping in. He's limping in. Alright. No. Normally I would raise this to about 7 something. Let's make it 2,500. Get some of these limpers out. Don't tell me he's going to call too. So even now, raising 10 times the big blind, still got called in 2 places. Do I continue the bluff when he was the guy that called me down with 6s last time? Yeah, let's try it. Well, the only way I can win here, here's where I make the donkey move. Yeah, oh, and he's gone. I can't make a note on him to never, ever bluff him. If he didn't catch that jack on the river, I wonder if he would have called with jack high. He had the busted flush draw. He finally made a pair and still called. Alright, we're down to 55 now. 55-6. Let's see, 55, 600. Blinds are 250. When do they go up? Next level is 4.5 minutes. So we still have 222 big blinds. No need to panic. Let's see. Cut off. Hijack. We're going to be on next. Low jack. I mean, I should have known from trying to bluff him earlier and he called down with the 6, but I did play it differently by checking the turn that last time. So this time I thought by 3 barreling he'd believe me more. And although I've been saying I want to play GTO, I was looking at this hand and just because it was suited, I wanted in so bad. But I can't even justify that for a min raise. I've already donked off, what, over 30,000 chips. So if nothing else, these videos will teach you how not to play. How not to bluff a calling station. Pot size bet. I guess as far as the fundamentals, don't try and bluff early on in the tournament. Wait for the fish to die off. Wonder if I can unplug this and the recording will still go. That way I can get up and walk around a little bit with my laptop. Come over here to the counter. Oh, and before anyone asks, I know a lot of the other YouTube poker sites, channels, quite often they have the player's face down in the little corner. Originally, when I came up with this idea, I didn't want to have my name or my nickname out there. I mean, I go by fingers for the last 30 years, so even giving you my nickname, so many people in the Tampa Bay area and in my life know who I am. But the other thing was, I come out of radio. That's the occupation I've held for the last 30 years. So I'm much more comfortable with an audio aspect. I don't need to be on video. I don't care to be on video. It's always, anytime I've ever been shot for anything on TV, it's just unnatural to me. I'm not photogenic. I mean, not that I sound really good. I mean, you can hear my voice right now, but again, at least audio wise, speaking wise, this is what I've done for 30 years. But showing my face, in the grand scheme of things, do you really want to see my face? Do you care? You want to see my cards, maybe know what's going through my mind at the moment. But looking at my face, I doubt that is your top priority. Plus, there's a little animated, or not animated, a cartoon version of myself in a number of places on the channel. Oh, I thought it was, what? What did that wind up being? 2 pair aces and deuces. Oh, he had the aces, that's right. For some reason, I'm looking at it and I still got their hands mix that he had the ace king and he had the aces. I was too busy talking to you and thinking. Sorry. Again, if you like the material that I'm providing, make sure to subscribe to the channel, participate, like the videos, and I really do want to hear your comments. If there are questions, comments, let them flow underneath the videos, and hopefully I can get more people chiming in with answers. Let's try not to be trolls about it. Let's actually try and help each other out. Be all one tribe. The Digital Poker Felt tribe. Okay, let's see. Button move. So next thing I'm in the big blind. How many players? 211 now in the tournament. Let's see if it shows what time registration ends. Why is it saying that? I'm still connected. My turn. I told you it was a $3 tournament. Where's the, how do I see the info about it? Okay. Why? Let's look at it this way. Okay, here we go. Let's get back here for a second. There was a raise. Alrighty. How many big blinds did I say I had? He made it 3 times. And he limped. Alright. Not a great hand, but I'll defend the blind. Him being the raiser, more than likely, yep. He didn't bet full pot. Close enough. And he's all in. Forget my jack. I don't think the 6 is going to help you. Huh. Okay. So everybody's already in shove mode. Queen 8 suited. Yeah. I would normally lead this to semi-bluff it, but with the ace out there and him being a raiser, now let's let him actually do the betting for us. Because I would normally be the guy to bet out on a flush draw. Maybe he watched me earlier and saw how bluffy we were. The bluffing earlier gets us paid off now.
I really wish this hand player, though, if it's been called down, I really wish you could open it up and see what they had. I know in the past, other online sites used to be able to look it up and see how the hand really was and what they called you down with. Oh yeah, we were looking at the lobby. Late registration and available. Level 25. So far 287 have registered. So far paying down to 59th place. What does first place pay? Oh, scrolling too fast. So right now, if registration closed, first place would pay. For a $3 buy-in, more than 100 times your buy-in. Obviously, I don't think it's done yet. It's going to keep going up. Pardon me as I take a sip of my drink again. I know some other people with their poker channels, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or whatever, they seem to always have like a music track playing in the background. I do not. Let me know if that, again in the comments, if that's something that you think is necessary, and then figure out how to get the music that's copyright free that I can have blasting somewhere in the background that's not too distracting. I don't know. Because obviously I can't play any of the music I'd want to hear without paying the rights holder or getting some flag of copyright violation. And that's all I need. Let's see, next break's in 21 minutes. So again, by the end of this video, if we hit the break, I'm going to stop the recording, condense that down into its own standalone part 2, then come back after break with part 3. Just a heads up on how I'm doing it. If you weren't paying attention earlier or you've missed me saying it, trying to keep these videos to a size that are consumable for you. Now, if I remember earlier, he limped with a hand that I suspected was something like ace 10, king 10 from under the gun. He's limping again. Let's play our ace 8, but play it a little more cautiously. We do have position on him. And I was saying I wanted to be a little more GTO, game theory optimal. I really doubt limping here with ace 8 is optimal. I don't have the chart in front of me to let me know that, but I'm just guessing because it was offsuit. And more than likely it was probably, if it were a playable hand in that position, it probably should have been for a raise. Let's see, we were in the, what were we in, the hijack? Yeah, even if, let's see, that's versus raise. If I were the first to act, yeah, ace 8 offsuit is playable first to act if you're raising first in. I don't have any of the software up and running to really run it and see if limper, 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 if ace 8 you should limp with also.
Let's see, the blinds are at 400 now. Gives us 100 or 165 big blinds deep. So we're still well over 100 big blinds. And by the way, when you're leaving the comments in the videos, make sure it is comments. I think I'm more likely to see those than any kind of DM email type deal. I'll definitely get at least some notification up in the corner on that. And more than likely, I might even get notified if you click on like. So yeah, definitely help the engagement on the channel. Get it going. If you like this type of comment or content, make sure you click like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And I know everybody's always saying subscribe, click notifications. And I always think it's kind of redundant. I mean, everybody knows how to do it, but there are times where there's a certain channel that I stumble upon that has some really good content and it goes past, and I go a little deeper down the rabbit hole of chasing the next YouTube video and the next YouTube video. Then I want to get back to that guy that I saw earlier that had quality content. I did not subscribe. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name of the channel. So then I have to dig through the library of watched history videos to get back to and then subscribe. So again, just a heads up. Do it now while it's right there in your face. Wonder what he would have done if I been in there with my 9 deuce. Let's see, we're under the gun +1 with a limper. Should I? He's not the same guy. Let's make it 1400. I mean, 3 times the big blind would have been 12. So I'm even giving him a little bit of a discount. These people are still call crazy. Now, normally, I'd feel good about this because of my jack, but it seems people play jack 10 like crazy, so I've got to be really careful there. Plus, you have some possible open-ended straight draws with the jack 10, even with the between the 6 and the 10, or some draws. If he were playing king queen there, he definitely has gotten there. If he had 8-9, another straight has developed on that end. So again, that's why I didn't want to go too crazy. Main pot's 10,000. He's betting. All right, I'll look you up. Oh, he turned his pair of 10s into a bluff. Am I deep enough to raise with a hand this bad? No, we're going to actually start behaving. Maybe. There's probably some poker instructor out there cursing at me right now for folding jack 5 suited under the gun. in this deep stack of a situation. But I don't know. A hand like that early in position, I hit a 5. There's an overcard. There's a flush draw, straight draw. I think I would have just gotten myself into trouble. Again, sticking to the fundamentals. Sometimes, I mean, even if the math tells me to call at certain times, there's sometimes I look at a hand and it's like, even if I hit with this hand, it's so much more likely to go broke with it because you almost don't want to hit with it. I don't know if I'm making sense. Hopefully I am. At least that's the way my mind works. Three people in. We know one of the kings is dead. By the way, anytime you hear me take a sip of my drink, make sure that you've got a drink going too. What kind of zany crap do they have raising in that position? And now they're scared to bet. Alright, so he's playing the low suited that early. Oh, getting back to showing my face though, also. One of the other things, I mean, showing you how I'm playing hand by hand online. I was also a little leery of everybody in the Tampa Bay area that plays poker if they stumble upon this channel learning how I play. But at the same time, I'm thinking the way I'm playing online, again, the deep stack, the depth of it here versus in real life, and the, again, tells and reads you can get on a live person versus sticking more to the fundamentals here. At first, I was afraid that they'd learn how I play and that I was giving up an edge if I ever went out to the card room again. But again, at least showing you a cartoon face of mine, which looks too much like me. Actually, I think it looks better than me. Now it makes me wish that I were a cartoon. I would love to be in that movie, Cool World. But that all that said, I figure letting you in on how I'm playing online. I'm not doing it live, so if anybody else is in this tournament, they can't tune into this channel and see live action of what my hole cards are. Again, this is all pre-taped. I'm recording it on Thursday evening. Oh, what is today's date? February 25th, 2021. This tournament, I think it started at 5. I got in 5 p.m. I got into it at 5:08 or something. Started recording, may or may not have lost the first 10 minutes of the first part 1. They're still limping. Hmm. I'm going to start treating their limps as if I'm just raised first in. They're getting a little too loosey-goosey. Let's see, 2.5 big blinds would be 1250. Let's make it 2250 for the two limpers. I got a suited ace. I got position on you. You coming? All right. It's highly unlikely that he has a deuce. More than likely, he's probably trying to get a cheap spade turn. Or he has a weak queen. He's afraid I have ace queen. I was going to say, even if you're on the spade draw, I made it priced enough for you. Do you really have the deuce? Ace deuce of clubs. All right. I doubt he had pocket queens and play it that way. All right, move to a new table. So now I'm under the gun +1. Blinds are 500. Yeah, let's be a net and just fold. Tournament 251 now. 341, 342 total have bought in. Easy fold. Come on, it's like 2.5 big blinds. If you were going to limp with it. I wish I had taken notes on that other guy. I'm wondering if moving to the new table, if that's the same numbered guy. Doing the donk min bet. If it is the same guy, again, ace deuce would have kicked my ass last time, so maybe that is the same guy. They're all going to let me see a flop. Blinds are 600 now. Do I get to see a turn card? One of the two blinds is most likely to have a 4 out of all the hands. Again, I feel like I need to be almost a chatterbox or playing more hands as a form of entertainment for you, but at the same time, I want to go deep. So, my apologies if I drift off into thought there for a moment. I got the button. Raise, call. Not the best call, but at least it's suited, so if I flop the hearts, I've got the nuts. And it's all green. And let's just treat it as fit and fold. That's the same guy again. I mean, even if it were suited, if it were suited, that was a chance to possibly re-raise there, but not offsuit. Alright, so we're going to wrap up this video. Come back, start part 3. Again, once they're all up, I'm going to stack them into a playlist. You're watching the Digital Poker Felt. Again, thank you. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. Come back for part 3.